I know some of you guys are lazy bastards. It's fucking awful. However, I'm gonna show you how you can succeed even if you're lazy. You lazy. That's why you clicked on this video. However, you're also ambitious. You got all these goals that you set for yourself. You end up with a bunch of nothing because you've been lazy. I'm gonna show you in this video how you can still accomplish your goals even if you are lazy. This video is going to be broken down into two parts. One, I'm going to show you how you can utilize your laziness to your advantage and turn what was a flaw into an attribute. Then I'm going to show you how to overcome that laziness and to build more discipline. All in one video. I'm able to do that because I'm not lazy, but you are. So get your notepad out, pay attention. I'm going to show you how to get some money. So the first part, we need to harness your disgusting laziness into a superpower. Like Ryan Holiday said, the obstacle is the way. We're gonna break this down into 3 sections. Let's see how well I can draw this. See if I can make this. That's fantastic. I should have never doubted myself. Hold on. And that is good enough. Okay, so we're gonna break this down into 3 sections. So the first part is you actually need to do less. Some of you guys aren't as lazy as you think you are. You're just trying to do too much. You have all these ambitions and all these goals, and you want to learn an instrument, speak 7 languages, start 20 businesses, and be an international playboy. You want to accomplish all of that this month. And what happens is you get kind of an analysis of paralysis. And what happens is your brain kind of doesn't know where to begin, and it just shuts down. You end up doing nothing. It's more of an overwhelm. I want you to think about last time you had a bunch of tabs open, like you were on the Pornhub or something, you know, and you had a bunch of tabs open trying to figure out where you're going to finish. And then when you get to like the 50th Chrome tab and the whole thing just shuts down. That's what happens with your goals. You got too much shit going on and you're trying to do too much and you end up doing nothing and your mental CPU crashes. But we also need to learn how to conserve discipline. You have enough discipline to accomplish some things. You just don't have enough discipline to accomplish all the fucking crazy plans you set for yourself. You're ambitious. You want to do a whole bunch of shit. What happens is you spread yourself thin. Discipline is kind of like a gas tank. You have some discipline each day, but you run out of discipline. And here's actually a study that I found that illustrates this. I'm not going to read this whole fucking study, but you can go read it on your own. He called it ego depletion. So ego, I don't mean like selfish ego in scientific terms. This is what they mean for like willpower or discipline, right? And the more you use it, the less you have. And that goes for everybody. The thing is, you have enough to accomplish one of your goals. You just don't have enough to accomplish everything. And that's why you end up accomplishing nothing. So because that, we're going to do less. We're going to focus on one goal. You want to find one major goal to focus on. But here's something special happens when you start breaking it down like this. Once you're doing less and you have your focus on one major goal, then you have what? Focus. And then you're doing less and you're conserving your discipline. That gives you efficiency. See if I can squeeze that in here. Man, I should have never doubted myself. All right, that gives you efficiency. When you've conserved your discipline and you're waiting to use it on the one goal, the thing that's important, that gives you intensity. So now you're intensely focused on one goal and now you're going to be more what? Efficient, right? You just got to use your discipline more efficiently. How do we do this? What does it look like? All right, so it looks like this. I'm gonna set this up. First thing we need to figure out is what's going to be your one goal. We'll say main goal. You need to figure out what that's going to be. I know you might have all these plans and all this stuff you want to accomplish. You're watching YouTube videos on how to accomplish goals because you can't accomplish goals, right? So don't try to do 30. Let's master one, because what you want to do is you want to pick the one goal that will make everything else easier or unnecessary. I think that's always going to be a monetary goal, an income goal, personally. You might have something else going on, but I can't think of anything that can't be easier or unnecessary with more money. For example, my boy Jeremy, he's been on a weight loss journey, let's call it, for a long time. And I was even coaching him. He wouldn't track his macros consistently, and I fired him as a client. I said, hey, I don't know how to do this shit. I'm not fucking with this no more. I will not allow you to ruin my reputation as an expert trainer. So I fired him as a client. We're still friends though, one of my best friends. However, he found a way around it. He found a trainer who's more patient and poorer than me, who he's able to pay a lot of money. And what he does is he takes pictures of his food, everything he's eating, or tells him everything he's eating, and the the trainer tracks his macros for him, and he gets a breakdown at the end of the day of how much he ate. And midday, the guy will hit him, hey, you have this many more calories left for dinner. And he gives him options. I say that to say, because he had money, he was able to solve that problem. It makes everything easier. I think you should pick a goal that will make all your other goals easier or unnecessary. You want to get a girlfriend? Hey, maybe you should get some money. You want to get in shape? Hey, maybe you get some money, man. You hire the best trainers, buy the best food. I don't know, that's my idea, but whatever. You're gonna pick one main goal. Then you're gonna have other goals, right? But we're gonna have one main goal, right? And these other goals are going to help you accomplish the main goal. And I call these offensive goals and defensive goals. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're smart and you pick your main goal to be get some fucking money. Congratulations, you're intelligent. So an offensive goal may be get a second job, start your business, learn a high income skill. Those are offensive goals. But see, these goals support the main goal. And then a defensive goal is going to be something that prevents anything occurring that can hinder your progress. So if you got a girlfriend, you might have to take that bitch on dates and shit, right? Otherwise she start tripping, right? And she's gonna impede your hustle. And she'll start tripping and all that shit, right? So it maybe date nights is the defensive goal, or fixing relationships is a defensive goal. Or for me, if something goes wrong with my son, everything stops for my son. Everything stops, right? One of my defensive goals is to just make sure I keep building that relationship with him and making sure that I'm influential to him and spending a lot of time with him. It's a defensive goal because one, I love spending time with him, but also if I don't and something may, he may start acting out in school, or he might have some emotional issues. Who knows what happens? Defensive goals, right? And then you want to have selfish goals and altruistic goals. Now, again, everything on this side are result goals, meaning that these goals will be the result of you accomplishing your main goal. So a selfish goal, it might be, hey, maybe you want a richer meal. Maybe you want a new car. You need that motivation, because if it's just like, oh, I want to save the fucking whales, right? Like, yeah, it's cool, right? But you want to have selfish goals as well. Then you want to have altruistic goals. These are things you may do to help other people, right? But it's going to be resulting in your main goal. So maybe it's like, okay, now I can buy my mom a car, get my mom out the hood. If you're an online trainer or something, it's like, man, I just want to change people's lives. I just want to help people get healthier. But these are the result of your main goal. These are like process goals. These help you accomplish the main goal. And this way, everything is congruent. Right now, what most of you motherfuckers do is this is you, and you got one goal that goes in this direction, right? You got one goal in this direction. You got another goal in this direction. You got another goal in this direction. You're going all over the place. And this is how you go nowhere fast, right? Because your goals aren't congruent. You want all your goals to go in one direction. So you doing this reverse Harry Styles shit that don't never work. What we want to do, we want to have our goals like Harry Styles in one direction, right? So all your goals need to be moving towards the main goal. That's what we want, right? And that's what this facilitates. Now everything is congruent. A lot of your goals aren't incongruent. I've really talked to people who wanted to have a great relationship with their wives, but they also wanted to fuck, mad bitches, right? Those goals are incongruent with each other. It's like your goals got to be congruent. Now what's going to happen here is because now you're not doing reverse Harry Styles anymore, and everything's moving in more direction. You're doing what? This is how you conserve your energy. You're going to cut everything else. And I'm not saying you don't ever do the other goals that fall outside of this. You don't never go after them. You just don't go after them now. When you accomplish the main goal, it will make accomplishing these other goals that you have that are outside of this diagram, it'll make it easier. That's why I say you should pick an income goal. Because if your goal is to travel the world, that actually falls in line, right? Because now that's a selfish goal. That's a result goal, right? But if your goal is, something that's outside of this diagram, if you get money, it'll be easier. But now you're conserving energy and you're conserving discipline. This is super critical. You want to do less. So it's really, you gotta say, fuck everything else. Fuck everything else. If it's not in this diagram, fuck everything else. Because you are lazy. That's why you clicked on this video. That's why you're watching this now. So because of that, just know that about yourself. And work with it. Work with it. Just do what you need to do to accomplish this goal. Don't try to do a whole bunch of other shit. Because remember, like the example with those Chrome tabs, that's going to be you. And it's going to shut down. And the key is to have one goal, one main goal. And the other things, process goals or result goals. Things that help you accomplish the main goal or results of the main goal. That's it. Now, there's another thing you need to do. Remember, I told you I was going to talk about showing you how to increase your discipline. It was kind of clickbait because I really believe that discipline is overrated. It sounds cool to say, you don't need motivation, you just need discipline. Discipline is like a gas tank. You only have so much of it each day. What if you could actually turn up the motivation so you didn't need discipline? Motivation means you're excited to do something, you want to do it. You don't need discipline if you're motivated. Discipline means doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you want to or not. But you got to remember, there are studies that show you only have so much of that shit per day. So instead of just trying to turn up the discipline, right, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, it's a good attribute to have. I look at discipline like I use it in case of emergencies. I think it's easier and more effective to turn up the motivation. So discipline is not necessary. Let me show you what that looks like. There are 3 layers to this shit. Now, this could have been its own video. However, I'm not lazy, you lazy. 3 layers to this shit. I know I'm an amazing artist. Just try to relax about it. All right. So the first layer is what I call state control. State control. And this is your mental state, your emotions, right? You got to be able to get better at controlling your emotions. Because remember, motivation is just an emotion. What are emotions? Emotions are nothing but different neurochemicals going off in your brain. That's what emotion is. Neurochemicals like dopamine, serotonin, different neurochemicals going off in your brain. You can manipulate your neurochemistry in order to call on different emotions at will. And I'm going to show you how to train yourself to call on motivation. Now, you can do this for any emotion, right? You can call on determination. You can call on happiness. You can call on bravery. These are just emotions. I'm going to show you how to do that with state control. There's 3 different ways to control your state. We're going to focus on one, or the 3, but I'll tell you all 3. The 3 ways are: 1, you can control your physiology. You know, somebody's like moping around like this, they're going to get sad. There's studies that show that when people smile, laugh, and they control their physiology, they actually start to feel better. That's why I have a trampoline on one of my balconies, and I make people just jump on it sometimes when they come to the crib, because I've never seen somebody bounce on a trampoline and not smile. Never. Because it changes their physiology. It changes the neurochemicals that go off in the head. You know, some endorphins start to go off. You can change your emotions with your physiology. Number 2 is changing your environment. This goes for your actual physical environment, but also the people that you're around. For example, you know, you ever clean your room or walked into a clean space and you felt better, you felt good. But you in a dirty ass messy room, you might feel different. It has an effect on your emotions. Or the people you're around. You ever see like a puppy or a happy baby run into a room laughing and everybody kind of lights up? Emotions are contagious. Or you may be in a room and everybody's feeling good, and then somebody comes in all fucking mean and angry, it changes the energy in the whole room. You experience that? Because emotions are contagious, right? So your environment's the second way to control your emotions, but the most powerful way to control your emotions is what you focus on. And focus is the quickest way to change your emotion and the most powerful. Whatever you focus on, you're going to feel, whether it's real or not. For example, I can demonstrate this right now. If you have a pet, I want you to imagine your pet walking into your room, looking at you slowly, and then just dies. Some of y'all got sad right now, just me saying that. I assure you, your fucking pet is fine. He's doing great. But just the thought of it made you sad. Or if you imagine a loved one dying, you may get sad. It's not even real. Whatever you focus on, you're gonna feel, even if it's not real. So we gotta control our what? Our focus. So it looks like this. So this is, I'm gonna draw an iceberg, all right? So you want certain results, but the results are gonna come from your actions. But your actions, is important, come from your state. What state you're in. When I say your actions control your state, not only does it control what you do, but it also controls the quality of what you do. If you're in a bad state, like somebody died and you're super sad, you might skip your next workout. And it would make a lot of sense. Or you're too sad to go to the gym. Or even if you did go to the gym, it probably wouldn't be your best workout if you think about your dead homie who just died a minute ago, right? Your state, not only will it affect whether you do the action or not, if you do the action, it's going to affect the quality of the action, right? I gave an example before, but it bears repeating, right? Let's say you get a blowjob from 2 girls. One of them is like, do I have to? And she gives you a sad, lazy, she's disgusted blowjob and she can't wait till it's over, right? It's a blowjob, but because of her state, it wasn't really the best. Then you got another girl, oh man, she been dreaming about it. Well, it's one of her favorite things to do. It's a hobby of hers, blowjobs. And she's so excited. You know what I'm saying? You whip that thing out. She's like, and she dives on that motherfucker like a loose ball at the Super Bowl. They both did the same thing, but they did it with in different states. Which one is gonna be better? Let's use a less crude example. Let's say you wanna be a good father. That's the result you want, good father. So the action you take, spend more time with your kids, right? But let's say you're fucking pissed off and mad and angry, but you're spending time with your kids. That might be worse than not spending time with them at all. You might fuck up their whole day being all mad, yelling at them over simple shit, right? But if you're in a great mood, super excited when you're spending time with your kid, the result is, oh man, I had a great day with dad. Same action, but because you did it in a different state, it affected the quality of that action. Or you just might not do the action at all. You might not have performed the action at all, right? So what we got to do is we got to control our focus, because focus is how you change your state. And I'm going to explain to you how you can do that. But first, we just need to know state control is the most important part. You can think about the result. What happens if you do this? You can also think about what happens if you don't get that result. Like sometimes negative visualization can motivate you to go in the right direction. You know, I don't want that to happen. And you do it well. The best way to change your focus is what we want to do. You want to have two lists. You want to have, you've heard me say it before. Some of y'all know what's coming, right? The list of great and the list of hate. Let's go over the list of hate first. List of hate. I want you to make a list of all the people who ever talk shit about you, all the people who ever did you wrong, all the people who ever said you couldn't do something, all the dim-witted detractors, officious misanthropes, everyone who said you could not accomplish your goal. Make a list. Every day you want to look at this list. Put it on your Apple Notes, pin it to the top, but look at that list every day. All right, I start my day off looking at this list of hate. And that way I know, hey, if I don't accomplish my goals, the fucking haters win. Guess what? I'm more motivated. It doesn't take as much discipline after that. I'm like, oh no, I can't let the haters win. I gotta flex on these haters. Punish them with success, because we can't punish them with violence anymore. Make them regret what they said. And you also got to remember, someone said you couldn't do something and you don't do it. Were they hating on you? Maybe they were just right. The onus is on you. We don't want that to be our only motivating factor. Because we don't want to like approach the day with anger. We also want to have a list of great. I want you to imagine a version of yourself that already accomplished the goals you're trying to accomplish. And then make a list of all the attributes this person have. What time does he wake up? What time does he go to sleep? Does he fucking waste time playing video games? Is he jacking off all day? Or is he, going after his goals? Is he working hard? Is he diligent? Is he focused? Is he planning out every day in his calendar? Right? If you do that, what's going to happen is now you got a North Star. So you got your list of hate and list of great. What's going to happen is you're going to change your association with pain and pleasure. What does that mean? So Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology, he said that every decision everyone makes is either because they're moving towards perceived pleasure or they're moving away from perceived pain. So right now, you associate pain with working hard. You associate pain with tracking your macros. You associate pain with hitting the gym. You associate pain with do all these things, right? And it takes discipline to do the things you associate pain with. And you associate pleasure with, OnlyFans, jacking off, all the fucking bullshit, vices, alcohol. You associate pleasure with this. What happens is the list of hate and the list of great, it starts to rewire your association with pain and pleasure. So after repeated exposure to your list of great, you're going to start feeling good about doing the things that are on your list of great. You're going to be motivated to do those things. And the things that help the haters win, fucking procrastinating, bullshitting, fucking around, you're gonna start associating pain with this. Like if I fuck around and accidentally sleep in or something happens, I fucking hate myself. That's how it should be. I'm super hard on myself because, I associate pain, massive pain with anything that'll help the haters win. Anything that'll prove the haters right, I associate pain with it. And I associate pleasure with doing the things that help me accomplish my goals. That shits on the haters. So I've changed the association. So now once you've changed, once you start to associate pleasure with the things that your list of great and pain with the things with doing the things that help the haters win, you don't need discipline anymore. It only takes discipline to do things that you associate pain with. But if you change the associations, you don't need discipline. This is really the only way I know to change the association with pain and pleasure, right? So anyway, state control is one methodology. I went a little deeper on that than not just the list of hate, but there's also the other two ways to change your state at any moment, your physiology and your environment, right? Then the next thing you got to do, you have to make it a must. You don't get what you want, you get what you have to have. Think about all the goals you wanted to accomplish in your life that you did not accomplish, all your failures. Were there things you had to have or just good ideas, things you wanted? I know the answer to that. You know the answer to that. If you had to have them, you would have had it. It was just good ideas. You didn't want it enough, right? And you made some bullshit excuse. This is why we only have one goal. And the main goal, you can only have so many of these must, right? Everything else should be a nice to have and you won't get those things, right? But you want to make it a must. The list of hate and the list of great helps with that as well. Like it really helps with that. It makes it a must, right? I talked about this earlier, but one of the reasons why people find themselves being inconsistent is because they accept it. Because they think they tell themselves it's okay when they miss a workout, or they tell themselves it's okay to fuck up on their diet. I don't. If you talk to a child the way I talk to myself, they would take that child from me. from you. It would be considered verbal abuse. Like, I don't talk to my kids or anyone the way I talk to myself because I'm super mean to this nigga. You have to be hard on yourself, pause, and lenient with others. But you motherfuckers are too easy on yourself. It's not a must. You got to make it a must. And the list of hate, the list of great will help with that. But when it's a must, then you'll want to do the things. One thing you could do to help make it a must, my favorite white science man, Andrew Huberman, he talked about this as well. That's how you know it's real. He said that he references studies that showed that actually envisioning what happened if you don't accomplish the goal in studies was more effective than visualizing what would happen. I'm saying do both, but you definitely want to add that to your list of hate too. Not just the people, but imagine what would happen if you don't accomplish the goal and make it really bad. What we got to do is we got to raise our standards. You will not rise to your ambitions. You will fall to your standards. So instead of saying, man, I'm trying to lose 10 pounds, say, no, I would lose no less than 10 pounds this year. Instead of saying, man, I'm trying to get to $10,000 a month, I refuse to make less than $10,000 a month this year, and make it a fucking must. Raise your motherfucking standards. And if you falter from your standards, fucking be mean to yourself about it. Don't make it easy. Don't self-soothe yourself, man. White girls from California do that shit, right? You need to be fucking hard on yourself. Be lenient with other people. I never try to impose my beliefs. I don't try to tell other people what to do, but you need to be super hard on yourself. You got to make it a fucking must. Otherwise, you won't get it. It's going to be just another one of your fucking bullshit ideas that never comes to fruition. You got to get fucking serious about it, right? All right? And then the next step to do that is you want to change your identity. And how do we change our identity, right? I'm definitely not going to tell you to start talking to yourself in the mirror like some white chick who collects rocks. We're not going to do shit like that. What we're going to do is we're going to start acting in congruence with what we put on our list of great. Remember, the list of great. You were supposed to imagine a version of yourself who already accomplished the goals and write down as many of his attributes that you can think of. Once you start behaving in that way, in congruence with that, then you'll start to believe you are that motherfucker, because you are. Socrates said, you are what you repeatedly do. Excellence is a habit. If you are repeatedly doing the shit that the guy who accomplished your goals would do, guess what? You'll start to believe you are that motherfucker. Not only do you got to do it every day, you got to track it. That's why I have a tool for you guys. For habit tracking. It's called the Victory Vision Planner. And the reason it's so important is because not only does it keep you accountable, but it does something more important than that, right? Once you start tracking your habits, of course it keeps you accountable, but it starts to change the way you see yourself. Link is in the description. You can download the Victory Vision Planner. There's a video on how to use it. There's a link if you want to get online coaching from me, but you can ignore all this shit, or you should watch this video. All right. But there's one part called the Success Tracker. It's a free Notion template. It's free. I have some preloaded for you, right? With your calories, your macros. You can click here and add more habits that you want to track. And you can see your average, or you can make it see how many times you did these things, how many are checked, 80% broke. And what's going to happen is if the habits you put on here are things that are congruent with what's on your list of great, you'll have a record of you behaving in the way that the kind of person who would accomplish your goals would behave. How could you not believe it? Don't fake it till you make it. Be it until you believe it. And once this is who you are, once you change this shit to who you are, it's not gonna take discipline. This is who you are. One of my boys, he was like, man, Brandon is one of the most disciplined people ever. He always tracks his macros and everything. I'm like, yo, that shit don't take discipline for me. That's normal shit, right? That's like you brushing your teeth every day. It doesn't take discipline. I just do it because that's who I am. Once you start doing these things, it will make discipline not as necessary. You may need some discipline here and there, right? But you want to make it less necessary. If you got a David Goggins your way through life, it's going to be more arduous than it needs to. You're going to use up more like energy and mental and physical and mental energy than you need to. But if you could actually motivate yourself and get pumped up to do the shit, you can control your emotions. Motivation is emotion. If you can control that, and you got it. And you want to save discipline for when you need it, instead of just trying to be a fucking disciplined robot all day. Save it for when you need it, but change it so you don't need it as much. That's the real secret. Hey, listen, you need to learn more about this Victory Vision Planner. The link's in the description. You can download it free, but I also have a video that you watch right now on how to use this, where it breaks it down, because there's a goal planning part of it as well. You want to watch that video. All right.